That's good. Built it down. Yeah. Two ones. It's still the
Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم. Share screen. We're good. Let's go. Let's go. People are in. Shall we start? 6 people in so far? 6 students? Give it like 2 more minutes. 42. We'll start right now, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Honorable brothers and sisters, inshallah, we'll be going through Tasheel al-Nahw tonight, as it's a Monday. The last session we covered the homework. And I told each and every one of you to complete the homework, and we've done it together as well in class. We've completed Fataha Khalidun al-Shibak, which means Khalid opened the door, opened the window. Number 2 was Yadrusu Ahmadu fil madrasati. Ahmed studies in a school. Number 3 was Uktub Risalatan, which means to write a letter. And number 4 was La taqra dhalika al-kitab, do not read that book. Moving forward, until now, we've been talking about words, and now we'll be jumping into sentences. Just for your information, everyone. SubhanAllah. I crashed. Just for your information, everyone. We are now on page 6, give or take. By the time we reach page 12, I think we'll have enough knowledge to start reading Arabic text. I repeat, inshallah, by the time we reach page 12, we'll have enough tools to start reading Arabic text. And inshallah, we'll be starting a book called Qasas al-Nabiyyin, Qasas al-Anbiya. It's very basic for kids, stories of the prophets, very simple Arabic, and we'll be going through that along with the Medina books and also this book, inshallah. That's after we reach page 12 and onwards. Inshallah, in this session tonight, we do have many things to discuss. Section 1.4, we have something called Al-Jumal and Wal-Murakkabat. Translations right there, sentences and phrases. Al-Jumal means sentence. Who can give me the singular word for sentence? Al-jumal is sentences.
جملة.
Jumla, right? Jumla means sentence. Al-jumal is sentences. And al-murakkab is a phrase, and al-murakkabat are phrases. Again, if you were to transfer this into English, we can understand this text very easily. We start off with number one. Murakkabun is of two types. Murakkabun mufidun and murakkabun ghayru mufidin. Mufid, it comes from the word fa'ida. Fa'ida means to benefit, right? So mufid, murakkabun mufid means a phrase that benefits, meaning it gives a person an understanding. And murakkabun ghayru mufidin, ghayr means not. So it's a phrase that does not give a beneficial meaning, does not give a meaning. That's it. And that's exactly what it says over here. Murakkabun mufidun is also called murakkabun tam or jumlatun mufida and kalamun tam. This is a complete sentence. Often it is just called kalam. Are we all following? Often it's just called kalam. Then number two, which explains the second one, murakkabun ghayru mufidin is also called murakkabun naqisun, jumlatun ghayru mufidatin, and kalamun naqisun. This is a phrase, i.e., an incomplete sentence. Now, I don't want you guys to memorize these terminologies. Don't memorize these phrases. It's as simple as understanding. And when we were kids and learning Arabic, our teachers would make us memorize the definitions. And we would just keep on repeating the Quran and memorize it, not understanding it half the time because we're just memorizing it. It's the sake of memorizing. So I don't want you guys to memorize it. Just understand it. Murakkab mufid means a phrase that gives a beneficial, a complete meaning. Murakkab ghayr mufid or murakkab naqis, or kalam naqis means a phrase or a incomplete sentence. And then the author says in this part, from now onwards, when we use sentence, yani jumal or jumla, we will be referring to complete sentences. And when we use phrase, we'll be referring to incomplete sentences. Is that clear? So we have two things right here. We have, when we use the word sentence from now on, it will refer to complete sentence. When we use the word phrase, it will refer to incomplete sentence. Isn't that exactly what English teaches us? A phrase is just a phrase, right? It's not a complete sentence, right? And a sentence is a complete sentence. That's exactly, it's English. When we use the word sentence from now on, it means it's a complete sentence. When we use the word phrase, it refers to incomplete sentence. Now this is when we jump into the main juicy part of this topic. Types of sentences. There are two types of sentences. One is called jumlatun khabariyya. It is that sentence which has the possibility of being true or false. Key point. It has the possibility of being true or false. Can someone give me an English sentence regarding that? Give me a sentence, a statement that has a possibility of being true or false. The grass is green. Correct. Because the grass is green. I could go outside and it's fall. The grass is a little orange. It could change. There's a possibility of it being true, and there's a possibility of it being false. Correct. The sky is blue. You step outside, it's dark. The sky is not blue. So there's a possibility of it being false, and there's a possibility of it being true. Jumlatun insha'iyya is the second one. B. It is that sentence which do not have the possibility of being true or false. Can someone give me an example of that? For example, a command, stand up. You're lying. What? Lying, being true or false does not make sense over here. You're telling someone to do something. Write a letter. You're lying. What do you mean you're lying? It doesn't make sense. Correct? Just like English. So jumla insha'iyya is that sentence which do not have the possibility of being true or false. Now we jump into the first one, A, right? Jumla khabariyya. And that's exactly what the author brings right here. And he says, Aqsamul jumlatil khabariyya. What does the word aqsam mean? We've studied it before too.
Types.
Yeah, someone said it online. I want it on site as well. Aqsam. Qismun is wahid, singular. Aqsam is plural. Aqsam means types. Types. So types of jumlatul khabariyya. Jumlatul khabariyya is that sentence again, which has the possibility of being true or false. Now, the author says there are two types of jumla khabariyah. He starts out by saying jumla ismiya khabariyah. What's ism? What's ism? What's an ism?
Name.
A noun, right? A noun. And that's exactly what they mention here. A nominal sentence. What's a nominal sentence? A sentence which starts with a noun. Ismiya. The words right here, ismiya. Jumlatun ismiya khabariyya. Jumlatun ismiya is a sentence which starts with a noun. And the definition right there. It is that sentence which begins with a noun. Right there. And then it gives like 5 bullet points explaining what this is. Again, if anyone has any does not understand something, please stop me. I'll repeat it. Now, the first part is that the sentence which begins with a noun. Now we get into the first bullet point. The second part of the sentence can be a noun or a verb. Is that clear? We'll get into examples to make it very clear. Second bullet point, the first part of the sentence is called mubtada. I want you guys to know this word right here, mubtada. We're going to be using this word quite often. Or musnad ilay. We're not going to be using the word musnad ilay too much. Mubtada is something we'll be using a lot. The first part of the sentence is called mubtada. Isn't that in English? Subject. A subject. When you start a sentence, you have a subject. And now the third bullet point says the second part of the sentence is called khabar. Every sentence is made out of a subject and predicate. Khabar is predicate. So we have two things. I want everyone to remember. I'm going to color in red so we know. One is a mubtada and the second is khabar. Very important words. As we learn Nahu, we have to know these words, terminologies. Mubtada is subject and khabar is predicate or musnad, as the author mentions, or musnad. The word giving the information. Number 4, as the bullet point continues, the mubtada is generally ma'rifa and the khabar is generally nakira. Perhaps you may not know these words. These are Nahu grammar terminologies. I want you guys to highlight these words. Ma'rifa and nakira. Ma'rifa translates as definite. Definite. So it's a definite word. And nakira is indefinite. For example, when I say the house in English, is that definite or indefinite? Definite. When I say a house, is that definite or indefinite? Indefinite. So what's it telling us? The mubtada is generally. There's nothing all the time. It's saying generally. And for this book, as we continue exercises, it will generally be ma'rifa. It will always be definite. So that means it will start off with what? Alif lam. Alif lam. Alif lam means the.
Definite.
And we learned that in the Medina books, correct? Already we've covered that in the first chapter. Alif lam means the. So it refers to definite. Nakira is indefinite. And what's going to be an indefinite word? A word without a alif lam. And what will happen to the i'rab of that word? The last letter of that word. What will it have? Anyone online? Indefinite, yeah? Dammatain. Or kasratain. Or obviously for this class, we leave it by default. Dammatain. So example, we're going to have a word like al-bayt, which means the house. Sorry, I missed one. Al-bayt. The house. Al-baytu. Correct. This is going to be definite. Now, we want to make this word indefinite. We write
Baytun.
baytun. That's it. It becomes indefinite. And I mentioned this again. I'm going to mention it one more time. You cannot try to amalgamate, put them together, and make it like this. Al-baytun. That's totally incorrect. You make that mistake in front of any Arab person, they'll rip you apart. You can't make that mistake. Al-baytun, that's totally wrong. You can't put alif lam and dhamma together in one word. Does not exist at all. Sentence analysis. Now we're going to jump into examples. We have a word right here. Can someone read that on site? The first word on the right. Al-baytu. And then we have another word called nadifun. Okay? Always read the last i'rab. Very important. Translations written right in front of you. Very clear. We have the house is clean. Now, let's extract this word. Let's extract this phrase carefully. The word the will obviously come out from the alif lam. Alif lam. The. Correct? House is right there. House. Al-bayt. Al-baytu, and obviously in Arabic it does not have its own specific word. It's going to be inside of the sentence. Nadifun is clean. You understand? So we have al-baytu nadifun. Now the author breaks it down at the bottom. Obviously, the word al-bayt, the house, is English is what's it going to be? Subject. In English is going to be a subject, and is clean is going to be what? The predicate. And what does the author also mention on top? In Nahu, he also says the mubtada is generally definite. Isn't it definite with alif lam over here? Al-baytu. And he says the khabar is generally nakira. Nadifun is clean. Isn't that indefinite? There's no alif lam on it. It's like, it's clean. It's indefinite. Do you understand that until now? Al-baytu nadifun. Now we try to bring in the pool of words we studied in Medina books. And you could apply the word nadifun into anything. We learned the word masjid. Now we could say the masjid on Fridays is quite clean, right? On Fridays, people vacuum the masjid. Right before Jum'ah, the masjid is done, the carpets are done. So when you enter the masjid, how would you say that in Arabic? Al-masjidu nadifun. Nadifun. Al-masjidu nadifun. Again, we have to apply everything that we've learned from the previous book as well. We're doing two books together. So we have al-masjidu nadifun. Nadifun could be anything, right? So we have a qamis. I'm wearing a nice qamis. You could say al-qamisu nadifun. The shirt is clean. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to mix you guys up right now. I'm not going to teach you how to say your shirt is clean. That's for another day, inshallah. For now, we're just focusing on mubtada and khabar, subject and predicate. Al-baytu nadifun. Is this clear until now, this page right here? Anyone? Any questions? Online? On site?
Couple.
Yes. Yes.
First thing, naqis. The word meaning naqis.
Yeah.
Is
What does it mean? Naqis?
yes.
Deficiency. Naqis literally means deficiency. Very similar word in Urdu as well. Naqis. Like deficiency, meaning it does not give a complete meaning. Sentence, right? Kalam naqis. So it's, yes, that's the first one.
And then right above it, tamun.
Tamun's complete. It's good job. Good. So tam means complete. Tamam, like people say tamam. But the actual word tamun means complete. And naqis means incomplete. So I'll break that down for you guys right here so you guys can see it. We have complete. Tam means complete. And we have naqis, which means incomplete. Kalamun naqis, incomplete sentence, phrase, or kalamun tam, complete sentence or complete phrase. Is that clear?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, as we move, we're not done section 1.4 yet. It continues. This sentence analysis continues. It goes on and it says, a sentence may have more than one khabar. English, right? The house is clean and beautiful. Right? That's exactly what it says over here. So we have ar-rajulu, the man, is tawilun, which is tall, and qawiyun, strong. The author did not put the waw over here. There's a little waw over there. Wa, and. Wa always refers to, translates as and. So we have ar-rajulu, the man, is the mubtada, subject. We have the first predicate right here. Tawilun is tall. And then we have the second predicate right here, is strong. So the man is tall and strong. Two new words, tawil and qawi. We should put that into our glossary or our table. Al-Muslim al-Qawi, Prophet says in the narration and hadith, the strong Muslim, al-Qawi, is also part of also one of Allah's sifat, al-Qawi, right? Ar-Rajulu, the man, is tall, tawil, and qawi, strong. So a sentence could have even more. It doesn't have to have two. It could even have more. A person is strong, tawilun, qawiyun, jamilun, is beautiful. And you could keep on adding so many, nadifun, he's also clean. He's wear very good clothes. You keep on adding. So predicates could be multiple. However, subject is one in a sentence. This for now, this is what we're going to continue with. Second part, we've studied. So we until now we've completed that jumla, nominal sentences. Complete sentences of two types. One is nominal sentence, which is jumla ismiya, khabariya, as we could see right here. The second part is going to be what? Obviously, jumla. Before I jump into it, I know you guys have your books open. Fi'liya. What's the opposite of ism? Fi'l. What's a fi'l? What's a fi'l? Verbs. So verbs, and that's going to be a verbal sentence. We have a nominal sentence, now we have a verbal sentence. And verbal sentences are very easy. Definition: it is that sentence which begins with a verb. 2 bullet points. The first part of the sentence is called fi'l. Fi'lun. I want everyone to use that, know this word properly. We're going to be using this word a lot. Fi'lun is what? Verb. So know this. It's always a verb. The second part of the sentence is called a fa'il. 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 Or musnad ilay. Yes. So the fa'il is the doer. The one who is doing that action which has been described in the fi'il. So, Sajid yudarris. Sajid is teaching. So the action of teaching is being done by who? Sajid. You guys are learning. So, Yarli yadrus. Yarli is studying. Who is doing the action of studying? Yarli. So that's called the doer, right? So we have the doer here. The doer of the verb, right? Of the verb. Fa'il. That's a fa'il. And know this, brothers and sisters, something very important. I'm going to highlight this 3 times. I'm going to cover it in red. The fa'il is always what? Marfu'. What's marfu'? Before you answer that, in this book, I'm not sure how many students we have in this class who learned Arabic in the Urdu or the Bengali or the Indian, with the Indian model or Bangladeshi model. What I mean by that is we have something called, we have a line right here. Let's make it easier, okay? I'm gonna make a blue line, and we have everything below the blue is, consider this line to be a letter, okay? We have something above the blue that looks like this. What do you call that? What do you call that vowel?
Fatha.
Fatha. Why I say this is because many people, they call this a zabar, right? And we're not going to be using that. And nowhere in Arabic books do they use that. It's understandable that they broke it down for people. And I actually don't understand what was the wisdom behind it. It's very simple to call it fatha from the get-go. But they call it zabar, okay? We're not going to call it zabar. We're going to call it fatha. So even for the people online, many of the sisters, many of the brothers who studied Arabic, they would call it zabar. We're not going to call it that. We'll call it a fatha. Fatha. Okay, I'm going to erase the word zabar. Now we also have something called, we also have something like this. What's that called? People call it fish, right? In the Arabic language, the word pa doesn't even exist, right? The pa doesn't exist, right? In Urdu it does, in Bangla it does, but we're not going to call it fish. We're going to call it dhamma. Dhamma. And we have one last one, which is the bottom. Zir. They call it dir. We're not going to call it zir. We're going to call it kasra. So I want everyone, again, it might be difficult for you to understand this, but try to get into the habit of these 3 vowels. Fatha, dhamma, kasra. Fatha, dhamma, kasra. Fatha, dhamma, kasra. We're not going to be using zabar, zabar. Even myself, I get confused with that. So sometimes when you ask me, it's a zabar, I'll be like, what's a zabar? Because my whole life I studied with fatha, dhamma, kasra. So but I know people have this misunderstanding. I don't want to continue with the class halfway through and a person still confused with zabar, zir, pish. We're not going to be using those terminologies. We'll be using fatha, dhamma, kasra. Now, when it comes to these words, marfu', we have three words, okay? We have the word marfu'. I want you guys to write this down because it's very important. Marfu'un, which is right in front of us, marfu'un. Then we have mansubun. And we have majrurun. So what these mean, marfu' simply means that a word will have a double dhamma. Or even one dhamma, marfu'. Is that clear? So when I say from now on, if the author ever says the word al-baytu is marfu', we understand automatically what that means. It has a dhamma on it. Is that clear? When I use the word mansub, it means, I'll put a line above so you know, it's a fatha. Double fatha or a single fatha. When I use the word majroor, it's kasra or double kasra. Majroor. Is that clear? So when the author says over here, the second part of the sentence is called fa'il, and it's always marfu', always marfu'. It means the fa'il, the doer of the verb, will always have a dhamma. You can never have a doer of a verb having a fatha or a kasra. It does not make sense. The sentence becomes غير مفيد, becomes naqis. You're not going to understand it in Arabic language. This is why the i'rab and the vowels are so important when you speak, even when you read the Quran. This is why when we were kids, right, we would read the Quran, you know, we would recite the Quran. وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ. We'll say عشر. And the teacher will correct us. We're like, come on, man, just like a vowel mistake, not a big deal, right? You know, we're like, why are you correcting us? Make a small circle on our kitabs. We'll get annoyed, right? Not knowing how important the Arabic language is. That one error you made by putting a kasra on the ayn instead of putting a fatha, it changes everything. And it's the word of Allah. You don't want to mess with that, right? So even in speech, every vowel, every word, the way you place the i'rab is very important. So let's jump into the example. We have this example right here. Jalasa is what? Can someone tell me? Jalasa is fi'lun. It's the verb. And who is the doer of this sitting? It's fa'il, which is Zayd. Zayd is always in Nahwa books. So we're going to be always using Zayd. This person, Zayd. He's always the antagonist, and the protagonist is always Amr. So when you use examples of hitting, you say Zayd, Daraba Zaydun Amran. He's always hitting Amr. These are typical names that in every Nahwa book, they always use these two names, Zayd and Amr. So there's no Amr yet right now, alhamdulillah. He will come. So we have Zayd sat, Jalasa Zaydun. Now, again, brothers and sisters, in the previous lesson, we've covered a word, a verb. Let's go back to it. I'm going to go back. You could see it right now. Look at this right now. Look at this. I'm going to erase it. And let's go through this quickly. I'm sorry. Let's go through this quickly for the brothers and sisters online and on site. We have fataha. Let's not worry about this word right here. Let's talk about fataha khalidun. So if you're going to erase the word at the back, we're going to put a double dhamma on this one, right? Fataha khalidun. What's fataha in this sentence? No, but what's in grammar? What is it?
Open.
It's a fi'lun. Fi'l, right? It's a fi'l. It's a fi'l. And someone online can tell me what is Khalid? It comes into the same pattern as fa'il. Fa'il, the doer. So now automatically when a person says fataha khalidun, you know Khalid is doing the action of opening. Khalid opened. Obviously, we do not know what he opened, but we know he's doing it. He's the doer. He's the doer of that action. Correct? And that could be done by what, Brother Yarli? With what vowel?
The doer, you said
the second the doer has a dhamma. So if, for example, let me give you a quick sentence at the bottom, right? We have the word daraba, okay? Which means what? Hit. Daraba. Now, if I have the word daraba and I put the word sajidan, my name, but my name has a mansub on it. Now, until now, what I've taught you guys, brothers and sisters, Is Sajid the one doing that action? There's a hidden person there. That person will be sababun. Now, sababun is with the double dhamma. So now you know sabab is the one who hit Sajid. Sorry. Example, right? But so that's why important the mansub, the marfu is marfu, the dhamma is. If you do not know, if you don't see a apparent a hitter or a person doing that action, then you got to ask the author, you got to ask the person, can you elaborate? Or is the doer actually hidden in this verb? If he's hidden in that verb, what's that going to mean? How can he be hidden in that verb in a sentence? For example, in a story, when you already mention his name, you're not going to continuously mention his name. It'll be he, and he hit, right? In English, we're not going to continuously Muhammad went to the masjid and Muhammad went home and then Muhammad ate and then Muhammad. No, we're going to eliminate the word Muhammad and we're going to keep on putting the word he, simple, and he. So in order to find out the doer, is either we look at the sabaq, we look at the previous sentence to figure out who is the hitter, or we're going to ask the author or the person, like, why are you missing the fa'il? It doesn't make any sense. Why is Sajid being hit? By who? Who is he being hit by? Because the fa'il is ambiguous. This is how important it is to put the dhamma. Is that clear until now?
Yes and no.
Sorry, Brother Yali, repeat that again on site.
Does it same sentence, the doer, or could it be an adjacent sentence and then from the context you already had the doer?
That's exactly what I said. It could be for the people online, Brother Yarli said, does the fa'il, the doer, have to always be in the same exact sentence or the adjacent sentence? You could also be in the adjacent sentence. We could, and this is what I'm trying to say. When you read a text, you should always look at the previous context, the context in front, and then figure out who is doing that action. That's very important. Now we have a note right here. Note. And that note tells us, in the above example, the verb is al-lazim, al-fi'lu lazim. It is a verb whose meaning can be understood without a maf'ul. That's exactly what this thing says. Because Zayd sat, yeah, he sat. It's a complete sentence. But if I were to use another verb that is not al-fi'lu lazim, meaning does not give a meaning unless you need to have a maf'ul. Maf'ul is the one upon whom the action is being done. You cannot understand it. For example, in the previous sentence, going back, if I said Khalid opened, is it a complete sentence or incomplete sentence? Look, open what? What did he open? So this is where the maf'ul comes into play.
The verb itself is not understood.
Correct, is not understood. Now, speaking about the last thing now in a sentence, we have a sentence, a verbal sentence. There are three parts. One is a verb, one is the fa'il, which is the doer of the verb, and one is the maf'ul, upon whom the action is being done. And that's exactly what it says over here. Note, if the verb is al-fi'lu al-muta'addi, i.e., a verb whose meaning cannot be fully understood without a maf'ul, then a maf'ul will be added and the maf'ul will be mansoob. What does mansoob mean, guys? I'm going to focus, zoom in right there. What does mansoob mean? Fatha. Online, can you guys see that? What does mansoob mean? I wrote it down right there, right? So now let's do one or two examples, okay, guys? I want to do it before I even jump into the actual text in the book. Let's do it in this class. I'm going to use people's name from this class, okay? Let's talk about help. Nasara. Nasara. We have Nasara, Sababun, Salikan. Nasara, Sababun, Salikan. Can someone online break down this sentence for me? What's the word Nasara? What's it going to be in Arabic? Anyone online, give it a try. The word Nasara.
Christian.
Repeat that again, sister.
Christian. Nasara.
No.
To help.
Sorry, no. I'm asking.
help?
No, I don't want the translation. I want what's it gonna be in a sentence form. What's that gonna be called? What's that called? As we just studied right now. Uncle Salih, can you repeat that again?
فعل.
Say it again.
فعل.
No, فعل. 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 فعل.
فعل.
Which means a verb. It's a verb. This is a verb. فعل is a verb, guys. Now, continuing with Uncle Salih. What's sabab over here?
Ism?
Ism, obviously, but in this sentence, in this verbal sentence, which is filled with a verb, what's it going to be called? It's obviously an ism. We know that.
Oh, file.
Fa'il, correct.
فعل.
And what's a fa'il? Can you repeat that for this class, people online? A fa'il
Subject.
is the doer, right?
Do,
Correct?
yeah.
The doer of the verb. And salikan, what's that going to be called in Arabic in this sentence?
مفعول.
مفعول.
Maf'ulun. Correct. Maf'ulun. And that translates as this should be an easier word for that, but the person who sorry, say it again. The receiver, correct? The receiver of that verb, right? Okay. So nasara now having this, Uncle Salih online, having this, you already know what the word nasara means. Can you translate this sentence for me in English?
I cannot.
You could. So what does nasara mean? Let's do it together. What does nasara mean? Let's do it together. Nasara means madad karna. So help, okay?
Help.
To help. Okay? But now I'm saying nasara, right? Nasara sababun. So who is doing the helping? Who is doing the helping? Sabab, right? So how are you gonna say that in English? Sabab.
Helping Salih.
No, but this is past tense. So sabab helped Salih.
Salih, yeah.
Sabab helped Salih. And we can literally understand that by the verbs. Sabab over here has a double dhamma, marfu'. Means he's the doer of the verb. And we have Salik with a mansub, double fatha, which means he's the receiver. He's receiving the action. Now we could legit do that with anything. We look at this example, right? Perfect example. Khalaqa. Khalaqa means to create. Past tense. Khalaqa, fa'ala. It's all past tense. We're all dealing with past tense right now. Khalaqa Allahu. Who created? Allah created as-sama'a. Allah created the sky. As-sama'a. So very critical, brothers and sisters. Imagine a person doing hifdh and he says, Khalaqallaha as-sama. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. A person changes the whole meaning. And this is like kufr. You see how important it is to know the Arabic language when reading the Quran? Just by changing the vowels. See that, right? Because what does that mean? We don't even translate it.
If you don't change the order.
No, it doesn't. You don't have to change the order. So the person online on site asks, even if you did not change the order, absolutely, you don't have to change the order.
You could put
Correct. Correct. So nasara over here, you could put nasara. Salikan sababu. It doesn't matter because what matters is the vowels. The order doesn't matter. You could flip it around. So for the people online, what just happened right now? People asked on site, what if we flip this example? Uncle Salih, we were doing it with you, right? So let's do it again. We have nasara salikan. Salikan. Sababun. Same meaning. Same exact meaning. Yeah.
No, brother,
Yes.
wouldn't that be opposite? It was like Salih helps Sabab instead of Sabab helping Salih.
No. So I'll write both. I'll write both side by side so that you guys don't get confused. For the online people, here I go. The first example I gave was this: Nasara, sababun, salika. It does not matter what the order is. Over here, sabab is second. Over here, sabab is first. It never matters about the order. What matters, my brothers and sisters, is the i'rab. See that? The second you say salikan, you know the action of hitting is being, no, the action of helping is being done upon him.
Oh, okay.
No matter what. But sababun, you know he's the one who's doing it. So if I flip it around now, you see, nasara sababun salika, that's the original form by default. Sabab helped salik. Flip it around. Nasara salikan sababun. Yeah, that's like old school Arabic. People don't use it like that a lot, but it's still valid. It has the same exact meaning. Sabab still helps salik. So going back to khalaqallahu as-samaa. You see how important it is to know the vowels, my brothers and sisters? Khalaqallahu as-samaa. Allahu as a marfu', it's marfu' with a dhamma, which means Allah created. Allah created. If you put by mistake a fatha on the name of Allah, you're changing the whole meaning. It's borderline kufr. You're not knowing, obviously, you're not knowing, but it's bad. It's very bad. Your salat could be technically messed up, right? You're invalidating. Oh, you can't, because Allah already has an alif lam. Alif lam, the word Allah, the name Allah already has an alif lam. So you can, Allah, the word Allah will never have a double dhamma. So khalaqallahu as-samaa, very important, very, very important. Let's see an example in the Quran that we recite that has directly a verb attached with Allah's name. A surah that we may know. SubhanAllah, I'm thinking of something. Yeah, with a verb. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna say that, sadaqallahu, but it doesn't have a receiver. Does it have a receiver? Khalas. Khalaqallahu as-samaa. Okay, let's leave it till there. Is that clear until now? I could repeat. We still have 5 minutes. I could repeat for anyone who wants me to explain the doer and the receiver one more time.
Brother Sajid, question. So
Yes, please.
this is when there is tashkil. So what happens? How do you know when there is no tashkil?
Okay, so the brother online asked, this is when there is tashkil. Tashkil is vowels, right? It's written on the words. What would you do if you do not have tashkil? At that point, Uncle Salik online, it's merely about if you know the language.
Gotcha.
It's literally. Because now, for example, imagine this word never had, imagine these three words never had a tashkil. Never. Did not have. You know Allah created the sky. So you're not going to be like, you're not going to be flipping it around. You're going to be like, khalaqa. You're already going to know khalaqa over here means to create. The word khalaqa is always by default khalaqa. You can't be like khaliqi or khuluqa. You can't be like that. You have to know Arabic. That comes with practice. That's for like a very high level. This is why what we're doing in this book is still the tashkil. Inshallah, as we cover, it'll make things much more obvious. So you will be able to recite Arabic sentences without a tashkil. Imagine the word Allah did not have a tashkil here, dhamma, or the word as-sama did not have a fatha. If you know Arabic, you're automatically going to apply it correctly because you know it. You know the language. Let's give another example before I end off, okay? Let's give another example. I'll do one right here. Let's use the verb. Let's use the verb.
Istawa al-arsh.
Karuma. Karuma. Honored. Karuma. No, Karuma is not going to make sense. It will be akrama. Let's use the word fataha. Okay? Fataha. Oh, sorry. Fataha. Fataha means to open once again, right? We've studied it before. Fataha. Fataha. No, I'm not gonna write the tashkil on the next word. Let's see. Fataha. Okay, actually, I'm writing it down. Okay, I'll just write this down. So we have 3 words right here. I want everyone to pay attention before I end off this class. We have the word fataha. We have the word al-mudarris. we have the word al-bab. Al-mudarris, we studied this in the previous lesson in Medina books. What's al-mudarris? Teacher. Fataha means to what? And what's al-bab? Door. Now we automatically in English we know that the door is not going to open the teacher. Like it doesn't make any sense, right? So in Arabic, let's put the tashkil now. Fatah al-mudarrisu sasi. What's it going to be? Su, because he's the doer of the verb. Fatah al-mudarrisu al-babi al-baba al-babu. What's it going to be, guys?
Al-babu.
Al-bab.
No. For online, both were incorrect. So this is the action of opening is being done on the door. So what's it going to be? We have three options: al-babu, al-babi, al-baba. A, B, or C?
Al-baba.
Al-baba.
Al-bab.
C. Al-baba. Fatha. The action is being done. The action is being done to the door. The action of opening by the teacher is being done on the door. Is that clear? So we have, go back to the, so let's do this example right here. So this is going to be homework, guys. Translate, fill in the i'rab and analyze the following sentences. Let's go through one together. Okay, let's do this one. Exactly what I just gave right now. Exactly. So let's do this one right here. Very easy, brothers and sisters. Fataha. We already know this word is fataha. And what's this word? You kind of be like, oh, I don't know this name. What's his name? Is it Muhammadun? We already know it's Muhammadun. It's spelled Muhammadun. Muhammadun. And we don't know this word. No, we studied it in Medina Arabic book. It's not going to be al-bibi. It's not going to be, no, it's al-ba. But over here, let's see. The action of opening is being done on the door. The action of opening is being done by Brother Muhammad. And this is the action of opening. So, Fataha Muhammadun al-ba. Ba. So over here, for example, this means waqafa means to stand. So what's rajul gonna be? The man is standing. The man stood. What's the lam going to have? A la, li, or lu? Lu. Because he's standing. He's the one who's doing the action of standing. You can't be like waqafa rajula. What do you mean? What do you mean? Someone has stood upon him? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Someone stood on him? Like, it's ambiguous. It has to be rajulu. Waqafa rajulu. The man stood. Are we understanding? Sorry? What do you mean double? It's alif lam right there.
That's one.
Yeah. Question was on site, there's no dhammatain? No, there's no dhammatain because there's alif lam right there. If it was rajulun, a man, then absolutely. We could do it. If it was waqafa, rajulun. A man stood.
If you want to use that sentence anywhere, for example, al-kursiyya, would that mean he stood on the chair?
Yes, but not really. In Medina books, we'll cover the particle for on. It's ala. We'll get to that in chapter 3. For example, this is the same thing but inverted, guys. We have waqafa ar-rajulu and ar-rajulu waqafa. Same thing. Ar-rajulu waqafa. Are we understanding? I hope it's somewhat getting into our system, inshallah. Next class for Tafsir al-Nahwu, we're going to revise. As I mentioned, this week's going to be the last week where we go through extra lessons. Next week, the whole week, we're going to revise Tafsir al-Nahwu, and we're also going to revise Medina Arabic books. We're not going to move forward, only revision and only questions with only examples and exercises together. So until now, before I end off the class, my brothers and sisters always know, whenever there's a verb, the doer of that verb will always be marfu', which means dhamma. Always have a pish for the people still a little confused with that terminology. We'll always have a pish. And the receiver, the one who's receiving the action, will always have a fatha, which is zabar. That's it. Simple as that. Always. And it's very important that you know how to distinguish between the two, or else you'll be changing meaning. You'll not be understanding Arabic text. And you may even read the Quran wrong, which could lead to even changing and doing tahrif of the Quran, which is haram. May Allah protect us.
Can you repeat that one more time? Both of them.
Okay, both of them. So we have the doer. We have a verb. the doer of the verb will always be marfu', which is with a dhamma, bish. And the one who is receiving the action of the verb, al-maf'ul, that being or that thing will always have a fatha, which is mansub. So we have sajid sitting in the sajid opening a door. Fataha sajidun, sajidun, because sajid is opening. Fataha sajidun al-bab. Sajid opened the door. Is that clear, brothers and sisters?
So, but how about if just without sajid? Let's say somebody, okay, open the door.
Yes. Like who? Can you give me an English sentence for that? Like, what are you trying to say?
Just like open the door.
A command?
Yeah, command, yeah.
So that's different. We will be covering that in the future. So if you're going to be a command, that's different. I'll be like, iftah al-bab. You're talking to a person directly.
Right.
That's a whole different discussion. That's going to come in the future. That will be coming in, I think, page number 10, inshallah. So for now, again, just leave it, because we're talking about subject predicate. Leave it with subject predicate, like basic. Sajid, open a door, or the house is clean, or the house is dirty. Keep it very basic. That's it. Do not get into commands. Commands are going to be, sentences which cannot have the possibility of being true or false. Is that clear? Brothers and sisters online and on-site?
Brother Sajid,
Yes. You can give
I understand like we use marfu, we say mansub. Where do you use majrur? How do you know? It's like to put
So until now, good question, right? You're asking questions, you're thinking ahead, right? We haven't addressed any jar particles. Majrur comes mainly through jars, and that will come in the next couple of pages. Right now, we've only done mansub and marfu. So I would say do not stress over majrur. Majrur always come after a particle. And we'll do that next week, inshallah.
inshallah.
We're clear, brothers and sisters?
Yes,
So, Uncle Salik, you'll see that next week. I know it's a because you're curious. Where's the majrur gonna go, right? You'll see that next week, inshallah. So as for now, let's continue with the marfu and mansub. Are we good? Everything's good online?
Yes.
We'll end the session, inshallah.
yes.
Barakallahu feekum. Jazakumullah khaira. I'll see you all on Thursday, and I'll be uploading this video tonight.
Jazakallah khair.
Oh, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.